What I did without choice. In the name of peace and sanity. Hello and welcome back to the Doctor Who Marathon. I'm your host McEdam, and today we're going to be talking about a very special story as we'll be talking about No More, a fan-edited short story by me, of all people. I've taken clips from Day of the Doctor, in which the War Doctor is on Arcadia, the second home city of the Time Lords, and then later on in the barn with the Moment. And I've also taken clips from The End of Time, a story with the 10th Doctor, and I've taken the clips which have Rassilon during this event, trying to come up with a plan to avoid the final destruction of Gallifrey. And essentially what I wanted to do was make a War Doctor story of the destruction of Gallifrey from the War Doctor perspective. So there's no future Doctors coming in to arrive to save the day. Here, this is where the Doctor ends it. It's the finale. In my eyes, it's the finale of the War Doctor. It was such a blast to make. I made this years ago, around about, I believe it was like 2014, 2015, back when I was in college and I had access to editing software, and I've taken the clips from certain sites and from YouTube and stuff, and I've put them together into this short film. Now, I did try to put it onto my YouTube channel. Sadly, however, it got taken down, rightfully so, in my opinion, due to copyright. Because, yes, despite me editing it into its own thing, I am using copyright material. I am taking other people's work and trying to basically make my own, but without their consent or their acknowledgement, in a sense. So maybe it was right for them to take it down, but it's a shame that I won't be able to show this. Maybe one day I'll ask the BBC, can I use your footage for this? But sadly not. Another thing I've done as well, which I am very proud of. Now, it's important to note that I made this prior to, it was either prior to their announcement, or it was prior to me listening to them anyway, before I got into the War Doctor audio box sets. Because of that, this story, I've actually re-edited it, scored it in a sense, because there's a great YouTube channel, I can't remember what they're called, and they release basically audio tracks of every New Who episode, but they've taken out the incidental music, so you only get people talking and the sound effects, and which allows me as an editor to put in music in. And what I've done is I've put music from season 1 of the new series, which allows it then to feel much more connected. I've also, because again, this was before I even learned of the audio box sets, I also used the theme song from the Day of the Doctor teaser. Do you know that really cool one where it shows like all the Doctors and it goes up to the space then, and then you got the Save the Day, hashtag Save the Day trailer, the 50th anniversary trailer. If you haven't seen that, that is amazing, and I love the theme rendition of that. So I used that into this edited version of it. So it should feel like, anyway, at least my attempt. I don't think I succeeded too well, but my attempt is that it feels like it was released prior to 2005, before Eccleston, Billy Piper and Russell T Davies brought back the show. Another thing as well I did to enlighten that idea is that I actually used the BBC ident from 2004, the rave one, The one with the dun 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 theme in it. I put that on here to make it again feel like it was around that time. And yeah, it's just so cool that I had the ability, I should say, to make this. I do also plan, when I get editing software again, fingers crossed for this year, is to make another edit with Howard Carter's music. So we will have the War Doctor theme from the audio dramas, his leitmotif, and so on and so forth. I do hope I'm improving and making more variations of this fan edits. I will link a link in the description where you can find a Wikipedia article discussing my fan edit if anyone is interested. I really hope you are, because I had a lot of fun making this, and it was very interesting, and it just shows my passion for Doctor Who. I think this is the most pure passion project of mine that I've ever done for Doctor Who, and I'm so glad that I put this together. I got the chance to put this together. So this is a cover which obviously I made myself. You've got the desert there, you've got the barn, the Dalek, and Rassilon, played by none other than Timothy Dalton, James Bond himself. Really cool. Maybe James Bond is Rassilon? Interesting thought, isn't it? That would be really cool to see. And then here is the spine with Circle John Hurt. Yes, this is the last time you'll be seeing me, as I will soon be Christopher Eccleston. And no, I will not be doing this when I'm Christopher Eccleston. This segment of the videos are cringy and completely pointless, and McEdam here doesn't like doing them. I don't know why he's even started this, so shut up. Bye. And here's the spine. There you go. It's really, really cool. So there you go. This is just so weird to say that I have edited a Doctor Who story. Of course, in terms of script, it was written by Stephen Moffat and Russell T Davies, and it is directed by oh no, I can't remember the names of the directors. That's really bad. I'll put a thing here listing their names. I do apologise for that. That is completely unprofessional of me. I do heavily apologise for that. But anyway, so we get the ident, we get the intro, a fan-made intro I made together using clips and images and a new logo, which I put together, which is sort of a blend of the 1996 logo and the 2005 logo. It's very interesting. Then we get into the battle itself, the fall of Arcadia. And you got all these guns blazing. It's very, very war and everything hectic is going on. Daleks are coming threatening to kill families. These are obviously clips from Day of the Doctor. Finch, the Time Lord I've named from The Last Day, he makes a small appearance where he calls for backup essentially, and Arcadia has fallen, when suddenly he sees the TARDIS and a shadow from the other side of the fallen ruins he's from, who commands him to give him I'm gonna need your gun, as he writes in the wall, no more, as the Daleks fall for his trap, leading them all to this one section of Arcadia where the Doctor uses his TARDIS to just smash the TARDIS into a bunch of Daleks. Really, really cool stuff. I loved that in Day of the Doctor. That was a really fun perspective. We then go into the War Council, the War Room, I can't remember what's it called, where we meet up with the General and his second in command. I believe Expanded Media has given this character's name General Kenbonia, which is a reference to the actor Ken Bones, who, fun fact, I believe he was the voice of the Crack, the one that says "Silence will fall." I think, I'm not quite sure, but he's a phenomenal actor, and they learn that somebody has broken into the time vaults and stolen the only weapon they have not used against the Daleks, a device known only as the Moment. And as the General describes, it is a weapon so powerful it gained a conscience. It is, and how do you use a weapon which can stand judgment upon you? There's only one person who would even try. Now, in the original Day of the Doctor edit, this leads directly into the desert in which the Doctor is travelling through. But the way I've edited it, really, really smoothly as well, it goes from there to the capital, where we see all the destroyed Dalek ships on the outskirts of Gallifrey City. Basically, the edit makes it look like that when the General says there's only one person who would even try, I've re-edited it so it looks like he's talking about Rassilon, who at this point, played phenomenally by Timothy Dalton, has basically gone mad. He's been resurrected. For those of you interested, his depiction, his resurrection, is actually depicted in the Gallifrey Time War box set. I believe it's volume 3 or volume 4. It's one of those two, if anyone's interested. Now, personally, I'm not keen on the idea of resurrecting Rassilon and putting him in this particular story, at least at the end of time. My reasoning for it is that when we've heard about Rassilon previously and when we saw him in The Five Doctors, he was this very omnipotent being, which seemed mostly like he's a good fella, he's a nice guy, but there's a little bit of dark history that might have suggested he was actually this ruthless, evil dictator. But he was so powerful, he was one of the founding fathers of Gallifreyan society, that he was just this very controversial but very powerful figurehead in history. But now, Rassilon is just a mad, shouty, evil person, which I'm not personally keen on. So I have a headcanon. I did try and edit it into this. Sadly, I couldn't find a way of putting it in whilst making the story feel natural. Is that this isn't actually the same Rassilon. That Rassilon is a completely different character. This one is either like maybe his son, Rassilon Jr., or it was another Time Lord who was named after Rassilon, or maybe he's gone mad with power and maybe he believes himself to be Rassilon. That was like an intended idea I had, and that's my headcanon, that Timothy Dalton isn't playing the Rassilon that we see in Gallifrey history, one of the founding members of Gallifrey history, but rather a different Time Lord. That's my idea anyway. He basically he kills one of his ambassadors, MPs, I don't know, in a really fun line, which I'm surprised isn't a meme, where he goes, "Thank you for your opinions," and he shoots like with his magical glove at this woman, killing her. And they basically talk about the Moment and how they will not die. We also get him mentioning the Doctor, which then leads into the barn, at least leads into the scene in which the Doctor's in the desert and he's saying, "Time Lords of Gallifrey, Daleks of Skaro, I've served notice on you all. Too long I have stayed my hands, no more. Today you've left me no choice. Today this war will end. No more, no more." Fantastic line, and something which I've done, which really, really works, so much, it even shocked me, is that I've used Rose's theme, you know, that really somber like piano music, on this scene, and it fits so well. It's kind of ridiculous how well it works. It's really, really bizarre. And he goes into the barn and he puts it up. He's like, "Why is there never a big red button?" And he looks up as we then cut back to Rassilon, who is actually talking about the Master and how his plan is to try and survive this war. I've also put clips of each of the Master's previous incarnations. Robert Delgado, what's his name from the Deadly Assassins, Joffrey Beeves, Anthony Ainley, the Wormhead Master, Eric Roberts. I even put Alex McQueen from this really funny short film he did with Peter Capaldi in it, before leading into the Derek Jacobi Master. And they talk about how the Master's basically gone insane in this point. Now what I've done here then is that I spliced a scene. I really wanted to get Derek Jacobi's Master in here, and I did. I got a clip from a film he did with William Shakespeare play. I can't remember which one it is. It's a King Henry the Fifth or something, in which the Master, at least the Master now in my version, proclaims, "Oh, but a muse of fire, heavens of inventions," or something like that. I can't remember off by heart the quote, but I used that, and basically the idea is that he's gone mad. This is him now going to like the very edge of the universe, where we will pick up this plot line in Utopia. So that's really cool that I've done that, but it doesn't really work in the edit. Rewatching it for this marathon, it does feel really out of place, as later on then Rassilon is like, "Right, we've now got a connection to the Master. We just need something to make the contact physical," as he sends the star way up to this projection, as we then cut back to the barn. Now this is something I've done which I think resolves a mystery in The End of Time, and something which I've rectified canonically. In Day of the Doctor, the moment takes the form of Rose Tyler in the form of Bad Wolf. I'm not really keen on it. It seemed really odd, really weird there. And from the War Doctor's perspective, he wouldn't remember this. Otherwise, that would mean then the 9th Doctor, or the 10th Doctor, depending on your point of view, would remember Rose. Isn't that a bit weird? In the End of Time, we meet this mysterious character played by Clara Bloom, who's a phenomenal actress. She has similar powers. She just appears. She appears to Wilfred. She says like the Doctor can't see her, and the Doctor's not allowed to know that she exists. Russell T Davies actually confirmed the idea was that she was the Doctor's mother, which is cool and stuff, but personally I just absolutely hate that idea. I've edited it so that the War Doctor is talking to Claire Bloom's character. I've re-edited it so that Claire Bloom is the moment. How fitting then would then the End of Time is now, but that is the moment. That works so much better now. That's one of the proudest moments I've done in this edit, that he does that. And then he proclaims, "Great men are forged in fire. It is the privilege of lesser men to light the flame." As he puts his hand on the button, and I've used a clip from something off YouTube of a planet destroying, ending the Time War, finishing off both Daleks and Time Lords alike. This era has ended. The screen coats black, as I've taken the audio from the name of the Doctor at the end, where the War Doctor proclaims that he did this for everybody in the sakes of just sanity, but he didn't do it in the name of the Doctor. As we then cut to the regeneration, I've muted the audio on the token. I've put the regeneration sound in so he doesn't say make that comment about the years. I found that didn't really fit. I like that line, I like that in Day of the Doctor, but I didn't feel like it fit in my story. So awkwardly in my version, he just kind of goes as the regeneration happens. And I've taken a clip from someone's fan edit of how they've regenerated the Doctor's face into the Ninth Doctor. And the story ends with the Ninth Doctor saying his first words, as I take a clip from the 2005 Vortex. The audio clip, I believe, is from The End of the World, where he proclaims that everything has its time and everything dies. And there you go, that's no more. I would say overall, but this is my story, I put this together. I can't really objectively put my opinions on this because, you know, I put this together. But I feel like I've done a service in terms of my headcanon anyway. Of course, none of it really matters, it's just a TV show. It's just a bit of fun, and it's just a bit of something which I, in my head, helped connect Doctor Who even further. Especially having Derek Jacobi's Master in there, connecting the end of time with the Day of the Doctor, showing the Doctor destroy Gallifrey, having Claire Bloom's character as the moment, basically, she is that consciousness, and I feel like that was such a great idea on wow, that sounds like a lot of bragging, like an ego, but that makes that end of time so much better now, knowing that she is the moment. That, you know, this was a passion project of mine, and I hope that this video inspires you to make your own fan edits of Doctor Who. You know, fan edits is maybe a little illegal interest and a legal sort of hobby, but it's also an incredibly fun and incredibly, I wouldn't say harmless, because, you know, you're taking other people's works, people who put hard time and effort, and, you know, like everybody needs money, but, you know, it's still interesting. And as long as you do it in good faith, I personally am okay with it, you know. Yeah, no more. My fan edited film. Very, very strange to be talking about this. Something tells me in myself that I completely did this entire marathon series just so I could talk about this. Yes, that's probably true. So there you go, that's no more. So join me next time as we kick off not only the Ninth Doctor era, not only Rose Tyler's era, but also officially, without a doubt, the New Who era, as we go to 2005 London and we have encounters with the Autons. So I'll join me next time for Rose, and I'll see you next time on the Doctor Who Marathon. Ta-ra!